the other week during one of
Uh-huh.
my games. I just like started up Hangouts on my phone while I got the computer back up.
Okay. Cool. Looks like we're live again. Let me check my dashboard. Huh. Okay.
I have a blue life thing in my.
All right. Good. We're back.
On my
Yeah, the
screen.
stream crash. The stream crash. I don't know if the stream crashed when you dropped or if it crashed because I turned my cam off for a period. But anyway, stream. I got a notification the stream crashed, but it looks like we are back on.
Neither, I think, because I went away from my computer at 16:23, and the stream was going on at that time. I think the stream might start dropping when there's no activity for a while. I mean, I remember that I read something.
That makes sense. That makes sense. So we'll have to keep that in mind for breaks and how we'll handle breaks. It'll be interesting. All right, cool. Well, we are live again, so let us resume. So we had a bet that's going on between our Utri, our Jedi, who's speaking Wookiee, with Yakark, the other, the actual Wookiee, and Utri. As you are having this conversation, you get an odd feeling. And looking up into the crowd, you see that there is a dark-robed figure that is watching you. And we hear the sound effect. What do you do?
Oh, sis. And I'm stealing this, of course, from Luis. Okay, I will retreat from my conversation with Yakark and try to get to a better vantage point, I guess, where I can watch that dark robe figure. Like up on a pole or something, because I like sitting up on poles for some reason.
I loved all the cat references. It's delightful. Cool. Well, if you want to hide from the gaze of this
No, I don't
mysterious...
want to hide from it. Quite the contrary. I want to sit in a pole so I can observe them, but they can see me. I'm not scared.
Ooh, nice.
But like my fur is maybe rising up a bit on my neck.
Sweet, I love it. I think then what we see is the hood comes back and we see it's a human, but the human has a goatee, so he must be evil. And he starts running, and then the cloak is animated to look totally dope and awesome. And he's like running down the stands, and he like jumps and does a couple of those crazy super acrobatic leaps. And then he lands on the main lane, and he starts heading towards where you have perched yourself. And we see when a huge red lightsaber pops out, and he is charging for you. So Adari, you're kind of above this, and you see what's about to happen. But then, as you're kind of reacting to that, pan over, and they're like, "Oh no!" And we see Oyag on the sand where she was falling. She's falling into a Sarlacc pit. And Zuktar with Nink is flying towards, and so now they're all split up. Adari, you've got two friends in trouble here. What do you do?
Oh no. I'm gonna be super melodramatic. I'm gonna look at I'm gonna look at Nink, and Nink is gonna look back at me even though it's super far away, and there's no way that she knows that I'm looking. And I'll say, "You take care of him, Nink. I gotta help Utri." And then I like hijack the viewing pod and fly towards the Sith. And the picture is like if you played Smash Brothers, like all the Bowser children people have like this little pods with like a helicopter thingy below it. It's just like super silly. You just sit like a cup with a helicopter blade.
I love that. Yes, that is insane, and it is now canon in Star Riders that is what you can watch things on. It's a special cups GIF.
Buy the special Atari doll with floating helicopter pod.
It's totally a toy, and we just saw a commercial for it during our little break. So thank you for making sure. Standards and Practices is very excited that we've introduced this new thing, Atari. Cool. So you want to zoom in. What is the intent here? Like, are you going to try to this lightsaber wielding? It's a red lightsaber, just so you know. We're all color coded up in here. As he's coming across, are you going to try to attack him, or are you going to try to save Utri? What do you want to do? Not this Utri wants to be saved, but like, you know, this is Atari's thing.
So my thing is about teamwork. So I think I'm gonna say, like, I'm not gonna take an opportunity from fighting away from the network. So I'm just gonna fly in and say, Utri, get in. You need the higher ground.
That's awesome. It's not even a die roll. What does Utri do?
I'm a bit surprised because I already have the higher ground, but even higher is better. So I will totally take up this offer and jump from my pole top into the helipad, and then of course drop on the Sith, because you can't leave Sith running around waving their lightsabers. That's just, you can't do that. But yeah, and I'll shout, of course, at the Sith that, hey, I have the higher ground. You might give up, as well give up, and then I'll jump him anyway.
You're such a cat. Like, that totally is a cat thing to do. I love it. Cool. So let's see you attack with power.
Okay, attack with power. Let's see if I can.
Sorry, I just gotta pick LinkedIn of what the heliopod looks like.
Okay. I have 9, 11, and I can use my lightsaber, right? Because
you can use your lightsaber, but using things just pushes you up. So that push you up to the 12 plus success if that's what you want to do.
I think. No, I think I'm glad with my. I'm happy with my 11.
I think that's a good call.
Now.
So yeah. Cool. So in a 10 or more is a full success. You do it without complications. So of course we're not going to hack people up in this game. As Standards and Practices, I'm looking down my. What is it that you full success? What have you done to either disable or impair or distract this Sith?
I think what I have done first to distract, he has this flowering robe, right? So I think he doesn't want to be seen, really. So I'm going to do a quick slash and cut off his robe, and then I'll entangle him in the rope a bit, because I'm quicker than he is. And while he's fighting his own rope, I will tell him that the force is not very strong within him, and then I'll kick the saber out of his hand and tell him to maybe go and train a little more and maybe wear some better clothes. Really.
Talking so much trash.
This outfit, it doesn't work for you.
Oh, that's great. That's great. I love it. Cool. So you talk mad trash to this Sith apprentice, and then we cut away. He looks up, and he's got the kind of red eyes. He looks so angry, and he's still trying to wriggle himself out of his cloak. He can't just cut it open with his lightsaber because you disarmed him. And then we cut away from you to the Sarlacc pit. Nink, you fly over and you see Yakark, and one of the Sarlacc pit's tendrils is wrapped around her legs. It's inexorably pulling her down towards the huge special edition mouth that we didn't see in the original, but we've gotten notes from Skywalker that Skywalker Farm from Lucasfilm that's what they're going to do in, say, 18 years. But we can draw it in. We've got the budget, so that's what we do. And we draw in that crazy kind of Venus flytrap mouth on the sucker. And what are you doing? How do you want to try to save your poor fellow combatant?
So I think we see me like dodging a couple of these initial like tendrils or something, right? And that's when I get to drop the line. Now this is pod racing. But as far as actually saving Oyeg, I think that like we maybe see her like with her big axe, like trying to cut at some of these tentacles, if that's appropriate.
Yeah, absolutely. They're tendrils, so yeah, she's like waving at them, and the tendrils are like coming away, like they don't want to be chopped up.
So I'm gonna try to like say, "Here, reach out here. I'll grab you. I'll pick you up." And I'm gonna do the very unwise idea of trying to grab her vibro axe to try to help pull her up onto Nink's back.
Gee, I wonder what a mixed success might do with that. So great. Shoot. Okay, so power, mind, or heart. It feels like it's heart, like you're trying to save somebody, right? So let's have you roll with heart.
Oh man, I
Is it
am
11?
destroying it with rolls today. That's a total of 13.
Wow, that is so lucky for you. So you do it perfectly to some extra benefit or advantage. What do you think is the extra benefit here?
Well, I definitely don't chop my hand off. That's one benefit. I think I would like to earn a little bit of respect or friendship with Oyeg. I would be interested in her opening up about something about her life or her past or her present, I guess, even just to hear more from Oyeg.
Nice. Okay, so you reach down with the you reach down with your you're reaching for her vibration. You yank her up, and she's able to wriggle free. She's on the back of Nink with you, and Nink flies away. Although the animators tried to demonstrate that Nink maybe is a little extra overloaded here, and maybe it's flowing like. There's like more now mountaintops that we see in the background or sand dunes and this stuff because Nink isn't quite as high as before. And she has an arm wrapped around you, but is totally chaste. But she's going to open up. And Oyeg says, "You should not have saved me. You could have won. This is foolish. Why would you do such a thing?"
It's not about winning. It's about looking cool.
And she looks down and she says, "Flying dragons are kind of cool."
Well, I feel a little unfair that I'm the only one with a racing mount now. I'd really love to continue our race.
Mm.
You deserve a fair shot.
It was never a real race anyway, Zuktar.
Well, what do you mean?
We were paid to distract you so that someone could attack Utri.
Utri's in trouble? Oh,
Maybe.
no. We've got to go help.
Good. Oyeg does not argue against that because you've saved her life, so maybe there's some kind of life bond thing going on there. He goes careen around like Nink, whoosh, he comes forward. So we have a Dari on the flying saucer, cup and saucer. And we have Utri, who's defeated and is giving a lesson to talking trash to the Sith apprentice when Nink comes flying in. And as you guys are dealing with this guy who is now starting to untangle himself from the cloak, but still pretty well disabled. There are a couple of blaster bolts that land at your feet, Utri. And when you look up into the sun, like we see a flying Boba Fett, right? We have like a little bit of sun glint off of the visor there, and he lands on top of like a piece of the stands, so he still has kind of high ground above you because you're facing down the Sith apprentice. And he says, Darth Vader said disintegrations are allowed. What do you do?
Looking up at him, and I'm saying, okay, but why would I disintegrate you?
Cool. I think we need to cut to some audience reactions because I have neglected that terribly. Let us catch up. Who is the audience member who reacts to this pivotal moment?
But I think Robbie is like, yes, tell him off or something. Give it to him.
Yeah, Robbie's super into this, right?
Yeah.
He's sitting there on his handy writing fanfic about Utri's amazingness. It's on some BBS. I love it. So cool. Yeah, Boba Fett is now, he's of course surrounded by droids who are all on his side because this is a Saturday morning TV show and you guys need to be able to destroy droids. So he has a number of old style battle droids that must have been reconditioned for some reason. And they start streaming forward and he stands back and chuckles evilly.
I will tell him that he does need to get involved in this. Because I don't want to fight these droids and this guy who has the higher ground, and that's bad.
Okay, so. Cool. He says, don't kill my droids. They're worth a lot to me. And I think a couple of the droids are all of a sudden now they're like climbing onto the saucer, the flying saucer cup. So we'll cut to Adari as you have a number of battle droids that are attacking you. What do you do?
Can I ask a question before
yes.
we go to Atari? Do I have to roll for my mind control thing? I really don't want him to get
you
involved.
would use that. Oh, so you're telling him to come down.
I'm sorry,
sure.
I didn't
catch up.
Sure. No, I'm telling him to stay out of the fight. I don't want to fight the droids and Boba Fett.
Oh, okay, cool. So
yeah, sure.
With your mind trick twice per session, you can use the Force to convince a bad guy of something. And you absolutely don't have to roll. You just convince him. Like you do a thing and somehow his will is weak in comparison to yours. And Boba Fett will not engage in this fight. He's confident that his droid army will defeat you. Nice work.
But he can tell him that. So that.
So then we cut to Adari.
I think I'm gonna like sweep in next to Nink and hail Zuktar and say, "Come on, let's swap." And then we do the cartoon thing where like the models fly up and then they just switch in the air and drop down on the other thing. So I can go back to my faithful steed. And
sounds great. Yeah,
okay,
no. I do want to see how. I think you pull it off, but I want to see Zuktar have to make a roll to see how he comes down.
Sure. Yeah. I think we see, like Oyeg, like she just goes and leaps acrobatically. I think we see like a little bit of a calculation in Zuktar's mind of like, okay, I need to time this just right and jump at just the right angle or whatever. But that's something he's not very good at doing. So I'm hoping this doesn't go super well for him. Yes, a 3.
Nice. Awesome. Good, good. So remember your comic relief power
Yes.
because you're now failing a roll. So tell us a little bit about how you failed this roll in a comedic way that will give 1d6 hot points back to the other player characters.
Yes. So I think I tried to leap off of Nink, but my foot gets stuck in the saddle. And you just see me like, whoa, and I'm like sort of dangling underneath, and my arms are flailing everywhere, and it's up to Adari to kind of have to swoop in with the cup floater and kind of untangle me. And Nink, I'm pretty sure, is looking very relieved to be carrying a little bit less weight. But yeah, did not look very cool in that moment.
All right, cool. So roll a d6 for Adari to give her back some hot points. And then Utri's already at the max of 6, so we'll just be fine with that.
I'm at max 2. I started at 3, no?
You start at 3, but you can go up to 6. So this would, 6 is kind of the max. So this would give you a little bit more.
All right.
Hit hot points there.
I'm guessing I might lose a couple of hot points from.
Yes, you should. I think we should lose 1d6 hot points. So roll 1d6 for how much hot points you've lost, and 1d6 for Zuktar's restoring Adari's hot points. Thanks for asking that question. I meant to do that.
Oh boy. This is what I don't want to roll well. I rolled 6.
Oh no! Oh crap! That's the worst. Did you just knock yourself out?
I think I did.
Oh man, that's okay though, because we can always refresh. So yeah, bam. So you fall down, I think, right? Like it's comedic for a little bit until it isn't, right? Everybody has a good time until someone loses an eye. I think you fall to the ground and are swarmed by a bunch of droids. Here we go. So it's funny and everyone laughs and you get back. Oh, go ahead and roll how much hot points Adari can add. And if it's more than 3, it's just 3.
I think you already rolled for that, Louise, right? You're back up to 6 now?
No, I heard 6 and then I just put 6 there.
Oh, okay. Let me roll 1 for you to see how much you get back. Okay, I rolled a 2 for yours, so you can be up to 5 there. I rolled a 6. I think we could see if this is the end of the line for Zuktar. Oh, I haven't had a chance to roll that move yet in my plays, so that could be fun.
Cool. I'm sorry, I had a brief interruption. Did I miss something? I'm sorry.
Yeah. So at 0 hot points, we can roll with the end of the line move. But
let's do it
now or another time, if up to you. Should we fill it in here?
Let's do. So when you run out of hot points, tell the GM what it is about your character that appeals to your audience the most, then roll plus nothing. Oh gosh. Sometimes flagging sales prompt the network to make a drastic turn for the character. Next episode, you must play them as if they fall into villainy. Oh no. Okay, cool. And then on a miss, reduction run is finished. At least your action figures become rare and sought after by. Oh, this is harsh. You ready for this?
Sure. Yeah.
All right, let's do it. It's in there. It's part of the game.
Cool. So first of all, what it is about my character that appeals to my audience the most? I think, we see Stella laughing as I'm sort of struggling and falling off of Nink, and she's sort of trying to contain her laughter, so as not to wake her family up. But yeah, when we see me fall, it's like for a moment she really is scared. Like this is the guy who makes everyone laugh, but he's also trying to always help his friends and to make new relationships with people and be friendly. Even people who might be called the bad guy, Sektar still tries to be nice to them. But that might not be enough. Ooh, a 7.
Wow. Okay. So on a 7 to 9, flagging sales prompt the network to make a drastic turn for the character. Next episode, you must play them as if they fall into villainy. Brainwashing, mystical curse, or just frustration. I think, yeah. And then the other players have to find a way to redeem you. I love it. So I think maybe this is a thing where you're going to have some cybernetics or something to help.
Yes, I've been abducted by the droid army. That's
Yes, abducted by the droid army. They've rebuilt you. They've got the technology. That's awesome. Oh, man. Exactly. We have Zuktar Borg. That is fantastic. Cool. So let's deal with Adari. See, we had this comedic moment. You are restored back to your mount, and you are facing off with some of the droid army that Boba Fett has sent against you. I can't believe I just said this sentence out loud, and it tickles me. So, Adari, what do you do?
All right, so I'm gonna whip out the branded new feature from the new Nink doll action figure. I'm sorry, is that it can shoot lasers. I'm gonna establish that the Uvak are a laser-capable dragon species, and just straight up shoot lasers out of their mouth. Which for the toy, it looks like they have like this switch on their backs that you press, and then the mouth has a purple light bulb that just goes on and goes, and it just shines a purple light forward.
Laser capable dragon species is canon. This is past standards and practices as long as the lasers do not cause irreparable damage to sentient living beings.
Oh, thank goodness robots aren't living. So let's shoot some droids. I'm just gonna fly around and shoot a bunch of droids with my laser beam.
Awesome. Roll plus power. We'll see how that comes out.
My first row.
I know.
Right,
we actually have dice in this game. A 10?
Yeah.
Oh, nasty. Sweet. So it's total success. You do it without complications. So tell us a little bit about how... Ooh, here we go. Tell us a little bit about how you maybe inspire Alex with taking out a number of these droids.
All right. So Alex is a nature kid. So he loves to see what animals can do. And even though he knows that this isn't real, he starts he has like this encyclopedia that he has on his lap. When he's watching the show, he keeps flipping back and forward, and we see that it was open on the page for the desert biome. And then he starts like flipping it, and then he sees that there's like this snake that's capable of spitting venom. And then he's just like mind blown about the similarities between this and the laser spitting dragon. It's just like he's elevated, like it takes him out of his reality. He can fully picture this super cool animal that exists, that it's somewhere in the world doing cool things, and he just dreams of a day where he can just travel and get to see all that firsthand. And yeah, as someone said in chat, he asked his mom for I don't know what the actual name of the species is, but yeah, the venom spitting cobra. Oh wow, there's a salamander that's
That is
tears. Okay.
Can I get a cobra? You cannot get a cobra. You are a latchkey kid, and that will kill you. It will put your eye out. That is wonderful. Cool. So yeah, you take out a number of the droids, cut a swath to where you're able to fight back to back with Utri. Utri with her lightsaber out. Utri, how have you fared against these droids? I want to know, what are you doing, and let's get a die roll to see how well you fare. I'm not able to hear you, Sabina. You might be muted.
I'm sorry, I was still mentally with the Cobra thing. What was the question? I'm sorry.
It's okay. No, it's no problem. So Adare successfully ended up fighting off a bunch of the droids and destroyed maybe half of them. And now she's come down to the long, kind of dusty strip lane in front of all the audience. And she's back to back with you, Utri. And Utri, you've got your lightsaber out. And I'm curious, how are you faring against these droids? Because you don't have to take out Boba Fett now, luckily.
Well, I actually fare very well because there's this other lightsaber lying around, so I can use two. I'll just get up the red one and the blue one, which is kind of nice light game, and I will start deflecting the pew pew laser shots from the droids into each other, of course. Yes, please do buy this. And like deflecting the laser shots, and then they get, and then kind of playing pinball with them, so they fly into each other and shoot each other, and yeah. Also, I'm trying to get back up onto my pole. I like that pole.
That's great. Cool. So let's get a roll here to see how well you perform, but also let's keep an eye towards, you've already impressed Robbie because you're being so tough and amazing, but Stella is kind of heartbroken right now because she's seen Zoktar dragged away by the droid army, like the remnants you guys are fighting. So,
yeah.
So you need.
That's actually why I try to get up on the pole so I can observe that.
Awesome.
So I have a chance to see that and then maybe do something about it.
Cool. So let's have you roll.
Yeah.
I think you power, mind, or heart. So
I think for the fighting, I think power.
I think so too. Yeah, that feels right.
Yeah, I've got a 10 then.
Awesome. So it happens as you have said. You are successful in taking out a number of the droids, be able to break out. We have moments where the red and blue lightsabers meet together. We see this purple kind of sheen there, and then you hop up onto the pole, and there are a number of the droids that are Roger, Roger, and they're climbing up the pole. But you've bought yourself a moment, and you see that there is your land speeder has been stolen by the droid. They'll say it's like 6 droids, and they've grabbed the unconscious Zoktar, and they've got him in the back there where you were sleeping. And one of the battle droids is like picking little Bothan hairs off of its armor because, they hate that stuff. And they zoom away. So that's what you see.
I'll call out to Adari. We need to rescue Zoktar, of course. And then I'll jump up to Adari because I presume she heard me.
Yeah, absolutely. To the rescue.
Nice.
And so many friends behind.
Yeah.
Nice. You're definitely promoting the value. Sorry.
That's our friend you're taking. You will regret this. And why is he picking off my hair off his carapace?
This one.
You see, allergic droids. Okay.
There's one droid that's like scratching his forearm for some reason. Evidently they're allergic to Bothan fur. That's definitely a problem. Roger, Roger. This is definitely an issue. Roger, Roger. You should use calamine lotion. Cool. So they're trying to drive away, and it looks like they're headed through the illusions area of Glass Canyon or Mirror Canyon, and they're going to try to lose you. And so I think that being the pilot that you are, the rider that you are, Adari, you're going to have to make a mind roll to be able to find them. We see all these apparitions of different things. You see yourself, like Nink might be running into herself, and all these other things you have to fight down. So make a mind roll to defeat the Mirror Canyon.
Will do. Oh no, it's a 5.
Awesome! Oh, I hear you
Oh,
guys are
please
doing
give me
so
a
well.
commercial. Please give me a commercial.
You can, if you wish, you can eat the failure. Oh, that's a question. So, Michael, real quick question. So, Valkyrie allows you to grant one use of your thing to an ally. Does that use up your use, or is that effectively like a new use?
I think that I intended it to be one of your uses.
Okay. So you have no thing to help you out on this roll.
No. But I
Yep.
think that Luis may have been referencing some of those optional GM moves. If you don't want to bring in failure for the character, you could look at those as a slightly different way to react to a less than 10 roll.
Let's see. Optional GM moves. It was, let's see. It was meant to do that on miscuts to an audience member playing with the character's action figure. Oh, God. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Yes, we're going to go to a commercial break. This sounds amazing. Thank you. That is a good idea. So you are flying through Mirror Canyon. We hear XPO exposition say, "Oh no, it looks like they're lost in Mirror Canyon." And Nink is flying towards another Nink, but then we cut to commercial. And so I'm going to cut to a commercial break and task the player, which is Luis. You have to narrate a commercial based on a prompt I provide. So I think that I'm going to provide you with the prompt of the Mirror Canyon playset. Like, that's perfect. Right? It's a Mirror Canyon playset, and you need to demonstrate, like, figure out how the kids are playing with the playset, that some of the illusions happen.
Oh, this is gonna be fun. So Sabine asked in chat, like right at the beginning of the session, why they didn't feature Mirror Canyon on the first episode, and the reason was they couldn't get the model right, because I don't know if you know, but you don't put actual mirrors in kids' toys. You put that reflective plastic thing where it doesn't really reflect anything; it's just a blur, because then kids won't break it, and it's fun to not have kids breaking things. But they got this experimental mirror-like thing from China to make the Mirror Canyon playset. And then the kids are playing, wow, Mirror Canyon, I can do a lot of things. And then they shine like a flashlight on one of the mirrors, and then it's obviously animated just for the commercial. There's like images that don't reflect actual play ability. And then it's like, there's a dragon, there's a Jedi, there's a Sith. But then when you cut to a kid at home and they're like, wait, this is not actually doing anything. And it just shines the light right back at them. It just like shows some colors, and it was just a fiasco of a product. They had to recall it immediately. It just didn't work at all. People were fooled. They were upset. It wasn't nice.
Wait, did you just destroy your own commercial?
Yeah,
That's great. That's great. Oh no, you did like the 60 Minutes version of that commercial. So
I did the commercial and then I did the meta version of it.
you went meta on top of that. Cool. So we come back from commercial, and yeah, I think what we see is the actual. We haven't seen you guys come out safely. We just see the sun, the twin suns overhead, like going past, and we realize that it's the view of Zuktar, and Zuktar are all like damaged. We can't really see what's happened, but one of the droids is like is making the cybernetic fixes. Do not worry, Gamorrean. Soon you will be even more impressive. Roger, Roger. And then we hear over the comms, like the little kind of blink thing from the comms from the speeder, and it's Boba Fett. And he says, "Have you taken care of that Gamorrean yet?" And the driver pilot of the speeder says, "Not only have we taken care of the Gamorrean, he will serve you, and we've lost that stupid dragon." And then that's when Nink comes flying into the rear view mirror, even though they don't have them on land speed. We see it in the rear view mirror now because the artistic license, and you guys are now closing in on the speeder, giving chase, and it looks like the droids are going to fire at you, of course, because they're, yeah. So they start firing their little blaster carbines up at you guys. We see all kinds of lasers riddling the sky. And Utri, I want to know, what are you doing here?
Yeah, what am I doing? I'm dropping from the dragon, of course. And while I'm falling towards the speeder, I'm deflecting the blows of the blasters, and then I'm landing on the speeder. That's pretty much what Jedi do, falling and deflecting.
Falling, deflecting with skill. That sounds amazing. Give me a power roll to pull all that off without any issue.
Yeah, let's see. I can. Oh yeah, I can do that. I have an 11.
An 11. Holy cats.
Yeah, well, cats are about the right word. Yeah, and I'm when I'm landing on the speeder, I'm like, hey, aren't you allergic to Boston hair?
Where did you hear that? Roger, Roger. And it's trying to pull you off. Like, it's all of a sudden he's driving the land speeder's like in your perfect balance because you're an amazing Jedi. Adari, you see that Utri is on top of the land speeder as it is heading through Mirror Canyon. What are you doing, you and Nink?
And where is Zoktar in the situation again?
Sorry, I just saw a new picture for Zoktar. He's in the back seat, being operated on rapidly.
Oh, okay. Oh my god, I just saw the picture too. Oh my. I'm afraid of firing a laser there because I don't want to hurt Zoktar, even though I know
that would definitely be a thing I would have happen.
But I am gonna pull like a super cartoon stunt and just fire a laser at one of the mirrors in a way that it's gonna bounce all around and create like a laser network, so they have to stop the speeder.
Oh, it sounds awesome. Roll with mind to perfectly line up that shot.
Ah, these dice, man. Oh no, wait, it's a 7. It's a 7.
Okay, awesome. So I think that what happens is you pull off that perfect shot, but in order to do so, Nink knows that she has to give you cover, and she gets hit by a couple of blaster bolts. And so you pull off that perfect shot, and the speeder has to slow down. And one of the battle droids is like throwing his little droid arms up, and he gets thrown from the vehicle. And we like cut away to oh gosh, I just want to narrate one of the kids like actually doing this action with their action figures. But like a battle droid gets thrown out and like lands on some sand in a sand trap. And then we cut back, and Nink is headed down, and then like we don't see Nink actually hit the ground, but Nink is there, like lying on her side, Adari, and the speeder has stopped. Utri, you saw Nink fall. Zuktar is in the back. He is wearing some crazy-looking goggles now, and a tortoise shell shoulder pad. I'm just looking at the new action figure, guys. I'm just narrating what I see here. He looks very radical, just want to say. But Utri, what do you do now that you've stopped the speeder? And I think these battle droids have all dropped their weapons because they don't want to die.
Okay. Well, I mean, I have to save Zuktar first because he's there and I'm there, and then we have to go and look for Nink and Adari. Yeah. That's the plan. So I'm just slashing through something in the speeder that they can't use it anymore, or maybe, hey, wait, let's not. Oh, I did it. Damn, I should have thought about that before I did it because we might have used the speeder to get back. Okay, we'll walk. And I get. Yeah, well, I'm a bit impulsive sometimes. And I'm getting going over to Zuktar, and I'm looking at him and saying, "Buddy, are you all right?" You look a bit, I don't know, cyberfied? Droidified?
Never better. I'm going to try to grab you and throw you off the speeder. Like, I think,
Okay, I don't.
you reach your hand down maybe to, like, help me up, and I'm
Yeah, sure.
"Ah."
I'm totally not expecting that.
Nice. Yes. So you're thrown to the ground. Boy, it seems like we're having some like tech issues. Some people are like popping in and out, but we'll keep going. We're brave. We're brave Jitsi soldiers today. Cool. So you're grabbed by Cyber Zoktar Zim and thrown to the ground, and we see the lightsaber like skitter away just a little bit, and it looks like Zoktar Zim wants to fight you. That's the dramatic music moment. Then we cut to Adari with Nink. Adari, what are you doing?
Oh my, I think I'm just like next to Nink, and I'm quickly bandaging her up because all cartoon wounds can be healed with bandages. And I just bandaged like one of her paws. It's just symbolic. And I say, "You've done enough, girl. You can rest for now. I gotta take care of my friends." And then I'm gonna start cartoon climbing the rock cliff, which is just like going like this. And then
yes. I love it. I think Nink does, like, there's a moment where Nink like rubs her head alongside your side there, but then she lays back and she's still breathing. She's still alive. She's not been fridged. Maybe not killing the writers right.
And she's still laser capable, so I might call on her to shoot up a beam at some point.
It's always laser capable. Takes a
and
lot
do we
to take
see
away.
like? I'm sorry.
No, go.
Do we see like Utri falling down as I'm climbing up?
Oh yeah, we should do that. Yeah, we see Utri falling down as you're climbing up, and you see at the top of this little plateau is Cyber Zuktar Zim. Does not look as nice as he was before.
Zuktar, what are you doing?
Well, what do you think, Adari? Do I look cool enough for you now?
You always looked cool to me, Zuktar, but throwing your friends off a speeder is not cool. Y'all know that you shouldn't get out of a moving vehicle.
That's right, kids. Use seatbelts.
Well, it's not moving anymore, so.
That's very fair, yeah.
What is that about, Zuktar? I thought we're friends, aren't we? Or do you have new friends now with those droids?
Friends? Who needs friends?
Everybody needs friends.
I'm a soldier in Boba Fett's droid army now. That's all I need to know.
He likes doing neat things.
I know. Cool, right?
No, it's not. It's not cool. I'm getting up there again because, and I'm getting my lightsaber back to my hand because.
Yeah, you totally like kinesis jump up there. That's
I'm
okay.
going.
Can I dig it back on you because I don't really have a means of mobility now.
Look, Zuktar, we are your friends. We've always been and we always will be. We can't let you go be evil with Boba Fett. That's not cool.
Well, what would you know about it? You just wait till Oyeg sees me in my new cyber gear. Then I'm sure she'll be my friend. That's all I need.
Is that more important than our friendship?
Bzz, 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 bzz.
And I'm throwing some bushel of my hair at you because the cyber things, they are allergic, right?
Waiting to establish canon.
I'm trying to short out your cybernetic implants with that because I can't hit you with my lightsaber.
That's right. I think what we should do then is have you make a mind roll because you are trying to use what you've learned about the cybernetic powers of this particular flavor of battle droids.
Let's see. Oh, wow, good. That's a mind roll. I've got an 8.
An 8. Ooh, okay.
I think I might lose some hot points for throwing.
Yeah, I think you lose some
hair.
hot points. Yeah. Sorry, I was just
feel like-
glancing at the GM move. So, yeah, I think losing some hot points is going to cost you a D3. So roll a D6 and cut it in half. And that's how much hot points you lose. And if you lose enough, then we actually see like some patches of missing fur.
Yeah, no, I don't. I lose 2, so I guess I'm fine.
Okay,
Maybe
you're
just-
okay, but yeah, you lose a little bit of hot points. Like, I think maybe Robbie's like, oh man, she doesn't look as furry. But
And
I
think Azari is going to spit up some sciencey sci-fi gibberish like, look, the pheromones in your fur are interfering with the, I don't know, the psychokinetic implants that they put in his brain.
I think that like I have like this little like light up like sort of like Cylon looking thing over my mouth that's been like creating this like robotic voice. It's got like little light levels that go like when you talk, it goes up and down. And I go, achoo! And like the cool goggles stay on because we're trying to revitalize this character's toy line, but the like little mask thing like flies off with a sneeze.
Oh, and you've got a nose ring now, right?
Yeah.
Cool nose ring. That is awesome.
Whatever the technological function that served is uncertain, but it's definitely there.
You've lost some weight too. You're like way more buff. It's crazy. Awesome. So what is Stella's reaction when Cyber Zoktar Zim is saved?
Oh, Stella's reaction. I think she's kind of a little incredulous. Like, what they do to Zuktar? You know, like he was cool as he was. Now he's like kind of like a dork. I don't know.
Oof, because he's not funny now. Like he's all cybered up.
They made him all serious.
Yeah. Oof, man, he's not a very good sidekick anymore. He may have to go through a class change, be a soldier or something. I don't even know. Cool. So you guys have saved Zuktar Zim, it seems. I think we're headed towards the end of the episode. Since this is a one-shot, I would love to have like a little bit of kind of set up for the next episode that will never happen or did happen, but we don't see it for each of you. So give us a kind of, not really a post-credit sequence, but like a couple of flashes. Oh, next time ons. That's what we'll do. We'll do next time ons. It's your epilogue to see what you guys what crazy antics you're up to the next time we never see you. So who would like to go first with our next time ons? All right.
I was trying to find my raise your hand button, but here I am anyway. I just raised my hand. I think we like go straight from Stella saying like, what, like this, it's kind of like a dork. And then we see her sibling like kind of like groggily stumbling down the stairs, like having just woken up. They don't have the same early morning fortitude that Stella does. And they're like, oh, are you watching your dumb kids show again? And then we see like Cyber Zuktar show up and they're like, oh, wait, who's this guy? You know? And we cut to the next one, and now we see like Zuktar has like this big like blaster rifle on like the next episode of Star Riders, and he's like shooting like just laser beams all across the sky, and like the nose ring is really prominent, and yeah, her sibling is like, oh, now this is a show I can get into,
That's awesome. Cool. So who would like to go next, Adari or Utri?
I could go next. I have an idea. I think since I'm not going to be here for the next one, that they're going to spin off Adari into her own show. It's like, and they're going to set it up with a special episode of Star Riders where she has to visit the. Instead of telling you, I'm going to show you. It's like, next for Adari. And there's like this voice of a new side character. It's like an old elder of the same species as her. And he says, welcome to the nest of the Uvarks. And then it's like how to train your dragon kind of situation where it's like this huge cave filled with a lot of different Uvarks. And then she says, is this the only place that I can heal Nink? And then there's like flashes of her meeting other Uvak riders. And then it's going to be a whole new show about people that ride Uvaks and do stuff.
I love it. Oh, that's really dope. I super see that spinoff coming. It's best. Awesome. And then last but not least, we have Utri. And you will be here next week. Oh, you're talking on mute. But you will be here next week, so you could always set us up there too.
Yeah. So I think next on we see Utri jumping around at some spaceport, probably still on Tatooine, and there's Boba Fett, and he's shooting at her, and she's trying to get behind some barrels. And while they're shooting, they have, of course, there's a lot of banter from him, like, "Stop moving! You're not a flea. I thought you were a Jedi," and she's like, yeah, but I'm still can be quite irritating, and well, yeah, stuff like that.
That's
and then
awesome.
something explodes, of course.
That is awesome. Cool. So that will bring our one shot of Star Riders to a close, friends. Thank yous for being so just game to trying and jumping into the silliness that we shared today. I had a great time running the game for you. Would love to do just a quick bit of Roses and Thorns, and I'll let you guys all cut out just a wee bit early. So we start with Thorns. Thorns, critical feedback, any parts of the rules that were confusing or missed opportunities. I want to say, first of all, thank you guys so much for pointing out the alternate GM moves from misses. That's something I just, in prepping for it, I did not remember as we were going on, and that definitely enhanced the game. So thank you guys for that. And so it's a thorn on me for not having already used them, but secret rules for you guys for mentioning them. Michael, I'm going to save you for last because this is your game. So I'm going to go with Sabine. What thorns did you have, Sabine?
Thorns. Damn. I didn't have many thorns. And actually, I can think of any. Maybe it was a bit short. I would have loved to confront Boba Fett in this episode, but hey, we can do it next week, and it's totally fine. And I'm saving everything else for the roses, right?
Yes, face Boba Fett, writing it down. All right, cool. I should have post-credit sequenced him like reporting to Darth Vader there.
Right. I remember that the whole thing, in the rules at least, is supposed to start with the bad guy having a monologue, so we know what we're up for.
Oh, I missed the monologue.
We didn't do that.
All right, dang it. I will monologue. Bad guy monologue. I'll do that next time.
I didn't think about that but this time, but I've played it before with Jason, and he really does very lovely villain monologues, so I like them anyway.
All right. Thank you. Yeah, villain delivers their monologue and announces their plans. There we go. And then choose a star. I totally did not do any of that. Thank you. I will do it next time around. Luis, what thorns did you have, friend?
Just very mild stuff. It's like I really liked what we did. I just wanted to see more of everything. I just wanted to do more meta stuff. I really love when we cut back to the producer's table. It's like, no, we have to cut this, we have to keep that, we have to watch out about that. It's just like the extra spice in this game for me is the meta stuff, like coming up with toys and censorship and product meetings. It was so good. I just wish we had more of that.
Cool. Yeah, I agree. I'm glad when you guys were asking for it or prompting it. It was really, really helpful. Michael, what thorns did you have? And remember, I am the child of a Marine Corps sergeant making a high school principal, Michael. I got to run this one more time. I want it to be amazing, awesome. So give me your critical feedback. What do you got?
Well, okay. The first thing I want to give is actually myself, because I really love the breakneck pace of the game. And when it came time for my villainous turn, I feel like I should have done a little bit more checking in with Sabine first before I said, "Did I throw you off the barge?" Like, I could have said, "This might be a fun idea for this sort of scene," because I don't think PvP is anything that anybody expects to happen in the middle of a Storm Riders, Star Riders game.
No, that was not unexpected, and I was totally fine with it because it just threw me off. You didn't rip off my head. Then I would have been like, "Hey, what are you doing?" But throwing me off a speeder bike, okay, that was actually great. I loved the dynamic and the fact that this was so unexpected.
Cool. I'm glad that worked out. I could see it, maybe going another way and being like, "Oh, what? You throw me off?" But I have cat-like reflexes. I wouldn't let that happen, So there could have been more conversation for you there. So thank you for being game for that. I don't really have a lot of thorns for you, Rich, because I hope that the game is like something very malleable and hopefully something people can pick up, and you don't have to use every rule and you don't have to follow everything exactly. I hope that it's something that kind of just feels like it doesn't really get in the way. I was glad when we were able to point to those GM moves because those are fun. But it's like a one shot. We weren't really worried about end of session XP conversations or anything like that. And I thought that the session went really well, even without the villainous monologue structure at the start. So, yeah. Before I say anything nicer, I will leave it there.
All right, we'll stick with you then. Why don't you hand out some roses, Michael? Positive feedback, moments that you enjoyed, and we'll carry it with you.
Okay, thank goodness. Oh, I almost got too close into giving out constructive criticism. Oh, man, favorite moments. Expo, the droid, was great. Right off the bat, I really liked that character. I think that this game is maybe a little deceptively challenging because there isn't necessarily a lot of structure. What do you do? As the GM, what sort of scenarios do you bring about? You kind of just have to pull from your genre familiarity. But I felt like everything we were doing, every place we were in was fun and alive, and we started things right off the bat with this cool swoop gang, and Boba Fett shows up, and all this good stuff, and the Mirror Canyon playset, was a lot of fun. So my rose is kind of goes to everyone, but my favorite thing about this session was definitely the pace and the color, and it all worked together and went smooth as butter, and that was really enjoyable. So thank you all.
Thank you. Luis, what about you? What roses did you have?
All right. Oh, where to start? It's just such a fun game environment to be in. We're not that worried about building the most cohesive story ever because it's a kids cartoon meant to sell toys. It just has to be fun and wholesome, and it just fills my heart with joy. I was just grinning from year to year all game long. Let me try to think of some specific roses. I'm terrible at it. I should start taking notes. Forgot who does that. I think it's Barry who does that. I just say what's on the top of my head and say a rose to Sabine for Robbie because I thought it was I really connected with the kid who should have stopped playing with toys already, but who still hangs on to the dragon toy and gets mocked for it. And then that moment in the episode where it gets called back. I don't know if it was on purpose, but it was super cool when someone says that I don't remember the specific word, but it was like dragons are cool. Like I think it was Uliag who begrudgingly accepts that.
Thank you, Louise. That's great and lovely. Sabine, what roses did you have?
Lots of them, as usual, when I'm playing with gauntlet people. Roses first for I mean the Gamoran sidekick, that was amazing. That was just such a lovely character, and I really wanted him to not be cyber. What was his name? I forgot names. Totally Suktar, Cyber Suktar. That was cool. It was this whole transformation arc that was quickly over, like in the kids' show it usually is. So it was amazing, and I like the the laser capable dragon thing that came up. I mean, it was so great, and I loved the fact that we were on Tatooine, and then there was Boba Fett. We could actually interact with a canon character. That was amazing at the Sarlacc pit. I mean, come on. No, I had a lot of fun, which I expected, and I got everything I wanted. So great, roses for everyone.
Good. I also had a fantastic time, and I felt looser with canon, so that's why Boba Fett shows up. But usually in Star Wars Saturdays, there are almost no canon characters that show up, so that you can kill them all, just in case. But this was fun. I really love how gung-ho everybody was. Utri and the cat aspects of Utri were fascinating and really, really fun, like very kids cartoon fun. Adari with the flying dragon and all of a sudden lasers, like every moment with Adari and Nink was just really got to my Herculoids loving heart. And Michael, you really rocked it with Zuktar, and then when you found the picture of, is that Bebop or Rocksteady? I can never tell the two apart.
I think even their like wiki entry is Bebop and Rocksteady. So
I even had a Herculoids comic, like a few of the comics, the Hanna-Barbera comics. I was super into Herculoids, but yeah, when you popped the picture in, I was like, yep. My life is complete. This is exactly what I wanted from this game. This actual action figures used for pictures. It was great. So this was super. Kashiri are funny to me as a species because I actually saw a picture of them before I learned much about them and used one as an NPC in a Star Wars play-by-post game. So when you popped up with a Kashiri, I was like, oh my goodness, yes! Because that character's uncle was basically Bruce Campbell, but colored purple. And I loved writing Bruce Campbell as a Star Wars character. So there's my Kashiri story. Anyway, thank you guys so much for playing this with me. This was super duper fun. I really enjoyed it. And I'll stop the live stream here and we'll do another one shot next week. Thanks, everybody.